So we have started software effort estimation concept in unit 2. So in that we have seen the introduction to effort estimation, why it is necessary, and where are estimates done, in which of the phases of the software development we need to do the estimate, and what are all the problems with over and underestimate, and basis for software effort estimation, and several software effort estimation techniques, and bottom up and top down estimation approaches. Up to this we have seen, so we shall quickly see what are all the things we have seen. A quick recap. So a successful project requires a timely delivery and within budget with required quality. So to achieve all these things, we have to do rough estimate and accordingly work. So that's why estimation is important. And because of several challenges, this becomes a tough task. Then the productivity of the project is estimated. We can compare with that. The productivity of the project can be measured using this estimation. So how do we calculate the productivity, and what could be the rough estimate for that? So those things we have seen. So how do we calculate the productivity based on the size of the project? So that we have seen. Generally, effort is mentioned as person months or work months. So person months means 5 person months means 5 persons should work for 1 month, or 1 person should work for 5 months. So in that way we have to calculate. 6 person months means 6 persons should work for 1 month, or 1 person should work for 6 months, or 2 persons can work for 3 months, or 3 persons can work for 2 months. So in this perspective, we can think of the effort estimation. So at different places we have to do during strategic planning, feasibility study, system specification, and evaluation of several proposals, quotation based things, and during project planning. And in the complete stepwise overall project planning, effort estimation comes at this place. And the problem with overestimate is work expands to fill the time available. So that is the main thing. The another problem here is putting more people on a late job makes it obviously later. So that is the another perspective. So these two has been proved and has been accepted as a law proposed by these two scientists. And problems with underestimate, so these are less severe than the overestimates. Quality will be affected actually. So we'll be delivering the product with substandard only, less quality. So when there is realistic targets and all, the motivation is improved. Unrealistic target is there, totally we'll be frustrated, and our mind will not go towards completing the project. So that is the point here. And the main thing for estimation is we have to refer the past data, historical data. Similar projects, how much time they took for similar projects, how much effort needed for similar projects in the past. Those things has to be taken, and based on that, effort and duration can be estimated. Generally, for estimating effort and duration, we need size of the project. Based on the requirement of the software, we have to roughly calculate the size of the work. So size of the work requires either in SLOC, source lines of code, or in terms of function points. For normal programs, lines of code is okay, but if a program involves with so many interlinking, it is connecting with the database, connecting with the web server, For those cases, simply lines of code will not work. So we need function points like connectivity, database connectivity module, web server connecting module. Likewise, as a function, we have to define. So database connectivity line may be 2 or 3 lines, but sometimes that will not work immediately. We have to properly give the username, password, and data source name for the database. Everything we have to take care. That takes time. Maybe 2-3 lines in the software. So SLOC, purely SLOC will not give any usefulness. So we can go with function points for such projects, like even with the embedded projects and all. So each is having its own merit and demerit, and these are all the various ways of estimating the effort. So most of the things are categorized into top-down estimation or bottom-up estimation, and the expert judgment is based on the expert's idea who have involved in similar project development. An analogy based approach means we have to compare it with the past projects, similar past projects, and Parkinson method will give us based on the resources available. Okay, and price to win. This is for one to win the project. How much effort if we quote, then we can win the task. Mainly for winning the contract and all. So these are a variety of ways how software effort estimation is done. Bottom up estimation, as I told, each and every activity level estimate is done. Then together it is summed up to get the overall estimate. And top down approach, for a total building cost like 40 lakhs budget, 3 BHK house. Likewise, we can give overall estimate based on other houses, and then we will be splitting up. How much is for mason work and how much is for painting work, how much is for interior work, likewise. So we have seen one sample exercise also to calculate the productivity. So as per this example, Kate can develop, Kate can take 40 days per KLOC, kilo lines of code. To develop 1000 lines, Kate took 40 days, and to develop 1000 lines, Ken took 55 days. So what could be the productivity? So that we have seen how to calculate that. So now expert judgment, as I told, the knowledgeable person who is expert in that project development will give a rough estimate on how much person work months this project requires. So based on that, we have to derive the other estimations. So Delphi technique is mainly used. This is based on group decision making. Few experts, instead of one single expert, few experts together discuss the problem, and they come to a solution that okay, this much amount of effort is required to develop this project, like this. And the next thing is estimation by analogy. So this is using case-based reasoning, and they'll be using completed projects data as the source case and new projects data as the target case. And they'll be finding similarities between the source and target. So this similarity is generally based on Euclidean distance. This distance is normally used in the two-dimensional space, like to find the distance between 2 points in the two-dimensional space, x and y. Okay, so in that, to find the distance between 2 points, x point and y point, for a single point, we need two values. What is the x-axis value and what is the y-axis value? And for point 2 also, x1, y1, x2, y2. So if these two values are known, then we could calculate the distance. X2 minus X1 whole square plus Y2 minus Y1 whole square overall square root. So this is the general formula for Euclidean distance, and the same here they are adapting to find the difference, similarity between project 1 and the project 2. That means the completed project and the newly coming project. To denote or to find out the similarities between these two projects. Okay, so that has been mentioned here. So for measuring the distance, only 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2. But here when it comes to project, more than 2 points, like x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 likewise, and y1, y2, y3, y4, y5 likewise. So how many available, that much we can use. Target parameter 1 minus source parameter 1. So this is the tailored formula according to this SPM. The same Euclidean formula calculation, but it has been adapted here, tailored according to this situation. So target parameter 1 minus source parameter 1 whole square plus target parameter n minus source parameter n whole square. So in that way we can go even more than one parameter, like all the parameters. You could see dotted line parameter n. Up to that we can add all the parameters. 3 parameters are there means target param 1 minus source param 1, target param 2 minus source param 2, target param 3 minus source param 3. Likewise we can add. So we can find the similarities. I have some examples also. Yes, this is the formula to be used. This you can remember to calculate estimation by analogy using Euclidean distance. So one example could be, so project A and project B, these two are past projects, already completed projects. Okay, so the data about these two past projects are, project A required 8 inputs, 17 outputs. Project B required 5 inputs and 10 outputs. Some data about this project, just for an example. Okay, and a new project is coming that is having 7 inputs and 15 outputs. Okay, this project is yet to be developed, but as a rough idea, they are thinking that it requires 7 inputs and it should give 15 outputs. So how do they estimate the effort for this new project? So they must have how much effort required for project A. For example, 8 input, 17 output means it required 15 days. 5 inputs, 10 output means it required only 11 days. So this data we have in hand because these are past projects already completed. So we know the original data. It required 15 days, this required 11 days. Now new project is coming and I should calculate how much effort it requires, how many days it needs to get completed. So I can apply this into the Euclidean distance formula to find the similarity. So now project A and the new project I should apply. So target project is this, target parameter, source parameter is this. When I compare A and the new project. So how do I give? 7 minus 8 whole square plus 15 minus 17 whole square, and I have to take the square. Okay, so 7 minus 8 is minus 1 whole square becomes 1. 15 minus 17 minus 2 whole square becomes 4. So 1 plus 4 becomes 5. Root of 5. So the answer is root of 5. So it will come around 2 point something. So the distance between A project and the new project is 2 point something. Okay, 2 point something. So that you can remember. Similarly for project B. So for project B I am giving here 7 minus 5 whole square plus 15 minus 10 whole square. Now totally we should take square root. Now this will become 2 square plus 5 square. 2 square is 4, 5 square is 25. So 4 plus 25, 29. Root of 29 become around 5 point something. Okay, because 5 into 5, 25. 6 into 6, 36. So it will come in between. Okay, so 5 point something. So the distance between 5.5 approximately I am giving. So here it is 2.5. So this is the distance with A and this is the distance with B project. Okay, for the new project. So which project is very closer? The project A is very closer. Okay, project A is very closer. So it is so similar. So I can take up this value. So project A is similar to the new project. So project A took 15 days to complete that. How much it is closer? 2.5. So it also requires, the new project also requires approximately 15 days or even less than that. Okay, so in that way we can conclude a rough estimation by comparison, analogy. Okay, so same thing in another way, another exercise. So the following are held about previously developed software modules A, B, C, D and E and inputs required for each of these projects. 5 projects are there. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. A, B, C, D, E. So for A project, number of input only 1, entity types accessed 2, output 10. So entity types accessed means referring some other values. And in addition to inputs, the program is referring some other values or entities or objects, something else. Okay, and output is 10. So this project required 2.6 days. And similarly, project B required 3.9 days, project C required 1.83 days, and project D required 3.5 days, and project E required 4.3 days. So in this perspective, it has been considered. Now, a new project is coming. All these are already completed project data. Okay, and a new project is coming, new module. Okay. This module requires 7 inputs, 1 entity type and 7 output. So now how can I estimate the effort roughly based on the past data? So now the thing is, for this new module, I should compare it with A first, then B, then C, then D, then E. Same, using the same Euclidean distance. For example, for project A, how can I compare? 7 minus 1 whole square. Okay, this 7 and this 1. And now 1 minus 2 whole square plus this 7 minus 10. Okay, 7 minus 10 whole square. Now overall group. 7 minus 1, 6. 6 square, 36. 36 plus 1 plus 9. So 10, 46. So it becomes 46. Square root of 46 becomes around 7, 6 point something. Okay. So likewise, we can calculate the distance between B, C, D, E. New module with B, new module with C, new module with D, new module with E. So likewise, we can calculate and it would result like this. Yes, 6 point something. B also results in 6.78. C is resulting with 6.32. D 6.71. E 14.46. So this is too distant. Okay. So A, B, C, D are almost closer to the new project. This is the new project's data. And the project E is too different, too far from this. Okay. So it is having a big difference. So we cannot compare it with project E. Among these four, project C seems reasonably low. Okay. So I could conclude that this new project is almost equal to C. Almost equal means almost I should have the distance 0, but I am having 6.3. Among the available data, this is the lowest. So I can take up this. So my target effort would come around this 1.83, not exactly 1.3 because it is a similar project, not exact project. So it would be around 1.83. Even it may be 2 or it may be 3, like this. Okay, so we can conclude like that. So the conclusion would be module C would appear to provide best analogy as it is at the least Euclidean distance from the new module. So 1.83 days can be the base estimate. From that, plus or minus, that we can apply based on our own knowledge. Okay, so this differs person to person. I may be thinking 2.3 or somebody you can say 1.9 only because it is that much closer to this. So that perception differs. Okay, but it is close to 1.83 days. Around 2 days it may require to complete this new project. So that could be the rough estimate for this. And the next thing is Albrecht function point analysis. This requires 5 category of inputs like the complete project information is defined in terms of 5 values. How many external input types, how many external output types, how many external inquiry types, and how many logical internal file types, how many external interface file types. This is required because in the previous analogy based method, they are calculating blindly the distance between the two projects. But here they wanted to give some weightage, like 4 inputs required means whether all the 4 inputs are equally taking time to develop, to write code. 2 inputs easily we can retrieve, 2 inputs we have to retrieve from database. In that perspective, first 2 input easy to develop, second 2 inputs requires some time. Okay, so this Albrecht function point analysis thinks that each may have different weightage. So accordingly, we have to measure the complexity, then measure the effort required for developing it. So that has been taken into account in this case. So they are taking, and moreover, inputs are always not given by the user of the program. Sometimes input will be fetched from like sensors, input may be fetched from database, or inputs may be fetched from file. Open a file and read data from the file. Likewise, so in that case, file opening command, file is not available, what should happen? All these come into place. So many things are there. Simply, I cannot say these many inputs, these many outputs. So that will not work for cases like this. So they are categorizing it: external input type, external output type, external inquiry. How many references we are going out from my program? How many other programs I am referring? Okay, or how many screen displays I am having? So those can be considered under this external inquiry types. And logical internal file types like databases, files. How many external interface file types? Files shared between different applications. Like from my program, I am fetching on Google Drive data. From my program, I am fetching some CSV file, some XML file likewise. So how many files are shared between the applications? All these are counted in these aspects. Then accordingly, they are assigning weightage for each of these. Then it is used for effort estimation. So first we have to identify each instance of external user type. Then for that I should give this weightage, whether it is high complex, low complex, that means simple, and medium, average complex. So accordingly, I am giving some weightage. Simple code, simple input type means half an hour or half day itself is enough. Medium means 1 day. Complex, high complex means it may require 3 days to complete that module. Likewise. Okay, accordingly they are giving that. Then for each of these counts, they are multiplying with that weight and finally adding up all the results. I'll show you how it has been done. Okay. So now totally external data input is 13. External data output is 16. The total logical internal file is 32. Total external interface file is 22. Then external enquiry files, total number of those modules to be developed, 13. Okay. Now they are classifying it. Among this 13, how many are simple, how many are average, how many are complex to develop. Okay. So simple means I have to multiply it with 3. Average means I should multiply it with 4. Complex means I should multiply it with 6. So I have given some rough values for how many external data input, how many external data output. Okay, some rough values. And in that, how many are simple? For example, in this, 6 simple, okay, and 6 average, 1 complex. Then 6 to be multiplied with 3, another 6 to be multiplied with 4. This 1 is to be multiplied with 6. So that is the value for external data input. Okay, so that many effort required to complete this external data input module. Now, similarly, we have to calculate it for all. And which one could be defined as a function point? So, there is a consortium called IFPUG, International FP User Group, Function Point User Group. They have defined all the norms for which one we can consider it as a function point, which is external input, which is external output. Likewise, everything is defined, we can refer that. For the newly coming project, if some value is to be done means whether it will come under external interface value or external input value or what. That we can refer the guidelines given by IFPUG, and from that we can derive the values. Okay, so the rules are given there. Now, IFPUG file type complexity. So this is a standard one because by analyzing various categories, they have concluded that if a number of record types is 1 means number of data types is less than 20 means it is low complex. And the number of record types is 1, but the number of data type is 20 to 50. Then again it comes under low complex. Number of record type is 1, but number of data type is greater than 50 means it is a medium complex, average complex. Okay, and you could see here number of record types greater than 5, number of data types that we want to use in the program is greater than 50. It is highly complicated to develop that, so it requires more effort. So in that way, they are concluding that. So how do we estimate the effort? More or less nominally. So for that, they have given so many guidelines like this, so many tabular column references, everything was there. We can simply check our new project with the existing data available, guidelines available. We can conclude the effort. Now, one more sample exercise could be a logical internal file contain data about purchase order. Okay, what purchase order? I am purchasing a product means like organizations will issue purchase order. For this organization, we can buy this product from this company like this. That is purchase order. It will have the how many quantities we want, what is the unit price. Okay. So in that, it has two record types: main purchase order detail and the purchase order item detail. Okay. So in main purchase order detail, order number, supplier reference, purchase order date, all these are available. In item details, we'll be having code, product code, unit price, and how much. Like LG television 32-inch we are ordering means what is the product code, a single piece how much, and how many pieces we are ordering for some hotel. Okay, in each of the hotel rooms we are placing some television means we'll be ordering, there are 20 rooms means 20 televisions we are ordering. So for that we need to develop a software. So number of record types, two. One is main purchase order detail related records. The other is purchase order item related records. So two record types. How many data types? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So purchase order number, one data type. Supplier reference ID, another data type. Purchase order date, third data type. Product code, fourth data type. Unit price, fifth data type. Number order, sixth data type. So number of record types 2, number of data type 6. So we can refer the previous table. Number of record type 2, data type 6. So in which category it is following? 2 to 5 here. Record type 2. So it is coming in the second category. And data type is 6. So it is less than 20. So it comes under low complexity category. So accordingly, we can fix up the effort. Only this much days are enough to develop this. This is not much complicated project. Likewise, we can conclude that. So file type would be rated as low, and according to Albrecht complexity multiplier, FP count for this type is 7. Okay. So IFPUG time table gives me the result as low complex, and if I apply Albrecht complexity multiplier, then I'll be resulting with 7. That is the effort required. And in addition to that, we can consider other factors also, unadjusted function points. That will also tells the other considerations than the technical complexity adjustment. Okay, and this converts FP into SLOC and SLOC to FP, vice versa. I know only SLOC values, but to apply Albrecht function point model, I need to know FP. So how can I define that? So this guideline, how to convert FP to SLOC and SLOC to FP, there is a fixed guideline, and this is based on the language, which language we are using. Because if it is developed in C language, there is a norm, different norm. If it is developed in Java, different norm. For example, for Java, 53 lines is equivalent to one function point. But in case of Visual C++, 34 lines itself is equivalent to one function point. So likewise, it differs between language to language. Okay, so that norm can be used, and we can apply it with unadjusted function points or any other function point methods. So another method is function points mark 2. This is next version with Albrecht function point method. Like it has unadjusted function points based calculation. Okay, so here the technical complexity adjustment TCA. So that the value can also be applied. So in this, the assumption is any information system comprises transactions and will have the basic structure like this. From user, input will be given and it is processed. For processing, it will retrieve something from the data store and then it will deliver the output. So almost all sort of information systems, software systems will follow this method except hardware projects and embedded projects. Okay, except those, everything will follow this methodology. So in that case, uh, input data elements means one weightage is given. Entity types means this weightage is given. Output data means this weightage is given. So input data weightage, entity weightage, and output weightage. And based on several calculations, several research, they finalized the values for these. These are fixed constants. Input weightage, entity weightage, output weightage. Input weightage 0.58, output weightage very simple. Either display or print. These are all the normal ways of output or writing into the file. So that is having the least complexity. And input, yes, that requires moderate complexity. And entity references some more high weightage than the others, 1.66. Okay. So in that way, they are assigning weightages. Whatever project is given, simply categorize into three cases. How many number of input data element, how many entity, that means processing, how many entity references, and how many output elements. So only these counts we can finalize, then we can multiply it with the corresponding weights, then the total overall estimate we can derive. So for example, a cash receipt transaction in a maintenance account subsystem accesses two entity types, invoice and cash receipt. Okay, invoice means what? Uh, what to say? Received, that is coming into the system. Okay, and the cash receipt will be giving as a bill or receipt. So for invoice, and the total data inputs they are giving as invoice number, date received, and the cash received. And invoice record is not found for the invoice number, then error message should be issued. If invoice number is found, means cash receipt record is created. So here what they are calling it as output, only the error message. And this cash receipt is coming under the entity type. Okay, printing the cash receipt by fetching from the database. So for this question, the number of input types is 3. Invoice number, date received, and cash received. And number of entity type 2, that is producing invoice or tracking invoice and producing cash receipt. So 2. Number of output only 1, that is printing this error message. Okay. Now 0.58 into number of input types, 1.66 into number of entity types, 0.26 into number of output types. The final value is 5.32. So these many unadjusted function points are there. Now this unadjusted function points can be applied here. You could see how many unadjusted function points are there. So applying here, we can derive the final value. Okay, so this can be used. Like project A is having these many function points completed in 10 days. Means this project is having these many function points. We can compare the analogy and derive out the difference. Okay. So once the function points, unadjusted function points is finalized, then it is easy for us to apply any of the estimation models. So this serves as a basis for calculating the unadjusted function. So few more examples are there that we shall see in the next class. Okay.